Good afternoon. This is Eric with Low VA Rates, and this is a quick video tutorial on the VA home loan process. As with all of our videos, we hope to keep this concise, direct, and straight to the point, but please watch in its entirety because this will make your research and your experience with getting a new VA home loan much better. Okay? First of all, most people, when they are embarking on this dream of home ownership and they start researching online like those watching today, probably two of the most important questions are where and how. Okay, where do I start? How do I start? What do we need to do? Well, within those two questions, there's a few things I want to talk about, and then we're going to go into more detail throughout this slide. Number one, the very first thing you should be doing is getting your certificate of eligibility, or what we refer to in the VA mortgage world as your COE. Your COE is very, very important. We can help you get that, but if you don't have it, you need to get it. Number two, should you work with a realtor or agent? Well, we're going to answer that, and I will tell you that it is best to use an agent or a realtor, which are basically the same thing, that is familiar with VA loans. Another question, who do I work with? Well, you need to contact a good VA lender. As you can see here from the slide, this little smiley face, of course, we here at Low VA Rates feel that we are the best VA lender. We know we are. We will leave that to you after watching this video as to whether or not you want to contact us. You need to get pre-qualified, okay? After getting pre-qualified, you go out and you make an offer. That's a very exciting time to go out either by yourself or with a spouse or someone, a family member, and start making legitimate offers on homes. Very exciting time. You get your VA loan done almost at the finish line, and then you get to enjoy that dream home. So let's jump into this in a little bit more detail moving forward. Your certificate of eligibility. We like to refer to the certificate of eligibility somewhat like the Willy Wonka golden ticket. Now, just last week, I believe, the original Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder, passed away. And hey, great movie. If you haven't watched it, here's a little plug to go out and watch one of those great movies of all times. But if you're familiar with Willy Wonka, as most of you probably are, you don't get into the Wonka chocolate factory unless you have a golden ticket. That's kind of like the certificate of eligibility. Now, years ago, when I got into the industry, over 15 years ago, the certificate of eligibility was a green piece of paper. And many veterans had that green piece of paper, and they kept it under lock and key, and they guarded it. You don't have to do that any longer. The VA has stopped, for the most part, using those green certificates of eligibility, and we will help you get one online, electronically. However, what this certificate of eligibility does is it demonstrates that you are eligible for a VA loan and that the VA will guarantee the lender. In this case, Low VA Rates happens to be a lender, or whatever lender you're going to use. They're going to want to make sure that you are eligible and that the Department of Veterans Affairs will back your loan. Okay? Now, we're not going to go into detail in this training, but what the certificate of eligibility is also contingent upon is whether or not you have served honorably, and depending on when you served and in what branch of service, perhaps, there are different predetermined amounts of time that you must have served. You can get with us for details on answering those questions. Now, why do you want to work with a realtor? First of all, if anyone's ever told you not to work with a realtor or go find a home for sale by owner, though there's nothing wrong with a for sale by owner home, I'm here to correct that incorrect doctrine that someone has told you, because you should work with a realtor, especially when you're buying. It is the seller who incurs all of the costs of selling the home. As a buyer, you do not pay for this service. It's a legitimately free service. Use it. By working with a realtor, they can negotiate for you on your behalf. They can, if they're good at their job, and we will help you find good agents, they will help you negotiate a lower price. They will help you get any closing costs that might need to be paid for or repairs done. They will have the seller cover as many, if not all, of those costs as possible. Okay? Now, like I said, work with a real estate agent that you can verify they've done deals with veterans before. And not just veterans, but make sure they understand the VA home loan. Even though realtors are not loan officers, they should know enough about the VA loan process or have worked with veterans enough to make sure they're not showing you homes or condos that the VA loan is not going to be eligible for. Now, that doesn't happen often, certainly not with homes most of the time, unless it's a really run-down home that needs lots of repair. But it can happen where you get all excited about a condo, and then you come to find out that condo is not approved for VA loans. So please, work with a knowledgeable realtor. It is always a better deal for you to work with a real estate agent. I'm just here to tell you that. Please work with one. Now, the very next thing you should be doing after finding that realtor, you need to contact low VA rates. Now, in fairness, we try to have an open mind and not steer you in these trainings. These are more for informational purposes and education. You can work with any reputable VA lender. There are a handful out there. However, of course, we would love for you to give us a call. Here's how you get a hold of low VA rates. You can go to our website, lowvarates.com, and you can hit many different places on that website where it says get started, get pre-qualified. Pick the button that says purchase if that's what you're trying to do. Fill it out, and we will be in contact almost immediately. You can also just call us the old-fashioned way. Pick up your phone, dial 866-569-8272, and we can help you get started. Now, having an expert VA lender is very important for some of the reasons I've already discussed, but you will find it can be an absolute tragic experience for you if you try to use your local lender down the street or Uncle Bill or Aunt Mary's, best friend who does loans, and they struggle through the VA loan process with you. It's not worth dealing with people who do not focus primarily, like low VA rates, on VA mortgages. Now, once you contact us or any reputable VA lender for that matter, you're going to have to get pre-qualified. Now, this is different than getting approved for a loan. That comes almost at the end, but you get pre-qualified, and as you can see over here in this picture, there's kind of a checklist of things that we do when we're trying to pre-qualify you. Number one, are you employed? And I guess it's not fair to say you have to be employed. We have many honorable military homeowners, veterans who are on full disability, or they're receiving pensions and fixed income. So maybe if you're not employed, we are going to verify income, and I guess that bullet will come up here in a second. But we're going to make sure if this is your first home that you've been paying your rent on time. There's something called a verification of rent, where we may contact one of your prior landlords and find out whether or not you are capable of making timely house payments. Something else, for example, do you have sufficient income? Do you have enough income either from that job or from that fixed income to support the mortgage payments on your loan that we're going to get you approved for? Something else we look at is your credit history. Now, if you've watched our videos before, you should know that the VA does not have a minimum FICO score requirement. So when I say credit history, what we're talking about here, are you paying your bills on time? Do you have any collections? Maybe some unpaid medical bills, and we're pretty forgiving. The VA is pretty forgiving too on medical bills that have gone unpaid, specifically for veterans. All right, so there's just this bullet list of stuff that we look at to get you pre-qualified. Once you're pre-qualified, I guess you kind of get your second golden ticket. Just like I referred to the certificate of eligibility as being a golden ticket. Well, the only way a seller of a home and a real estate agent is going to take you serious when you start making offers on a home, they want to make sure you're pre-qualified. So we will give you a pre-qualification certificate or a pre-approval certificate. It's basically a letter that indicates we've looked at your income, we've looked at your job history, your rental history, we've looked at your credit history, and we feel that you can go out and start making offers on $150,000 homes or lower, or maybe a $450,000 home or lower. But there's no point in you going out, driving through your soon-to-be dream neighborhood and making offers on homes that you're not going to be able to afford. You're wasting your time, and again, a good agent would keep you from doing that. But that pre-approval makes you legit. The seller will take you much more serious when you have that pre-approval. Right now is a great time to be a seller. The housing market's back. It's a great time to be a buyer. Interest rates are low. So there's some negotiation that needs to go on. Certain pockets of the country, homes are flying off of the market, hours, if not days after they've been listed. And if you want to be taken seriously, you have to have that pre-approval. Once you get the home under contract, this is a binding agreement between the seller of the home and you. Your real estate agent will help you put that in order. Once you get that home under contract, you are almost there. This is, again, another very exciting time. There's looking for homes, but then there's knowing that you have a home legally obligated for the seller to give you that home, sell you that home, should you get your VA loan approved. And that's where we come today. You must finalize your VA home loan. What you do is you come back to low VA rates or that lender, whoever you used for the pre-approval, and everything gets validated. If you've lost your job between the time you got pre-approved and the time you're going to get your loan, well, that could pose some problems. If you've gone out and racked up a bunch of new credit card debt or bought a new car, that could cause some problems. Now, I will warn you, even though this was not part of the slide presentation, don't go out and get new credit cards. Don't buy a new car. Don't start shopping for furniture. You do not want to change your credit profile at all between the time you got pre-approved for the home and you finalize your VA loan. We have seen horror stories of people that have chosen to work with other lenders. They were all pre-approved. They got their home under contract. They put their earnest money down, and then they get denied for the loan. And they want to know why. I still have the same job. I still make the same amount of money. Well, that's correct, but you also have a $750 Mercedes payment now that you should not have gone out and done until after you were in the home. Okay? So please don't change your credit profile. This VA loan process can be as fast as 10 days in perfect situation. It can take over a month. And frankly, what I forgot to put in the slide presentation here is some people go out and they shop for homes for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. You can go out and wait until you find that perfect home. And that's why it's important to watch your spending habits and your credit habits during the home shopping process. But then once you actually get the home under contract and you start the loan, just know that the process could take about a month or so. Your real estate agent, when working with us at low VA rates, we will make sure your contract is long enough to get the loan done and not lose any earnest money. Now, the final step, the best step, what brings pure joy and satisfaction to those of us in the mortgage industry, is watching you move into your dream home. That's what all the work has been for. That's why you're researching today and watching this video. Okay? It's no longer a dream. You will get keys. You will create memories with your family, your friends, your neighbors. There's a lot of additional mental and financial security that homeowners in this country enjoy that renters don't. You now have an asset. Okay? This home, over time, will appreciate. Over time, you will pay down your balance. We don't give any tax instructions or any tax advice here. Work with a tax advisor, whoever you use to do your taxes. But I will tell you, in the great United States of America, there are currently tax benefits to those who own a home. Okay? I want to thank you for watching today. I wish you luck as you venture out into this home buying process. The loan process can be seamless, it can be painless, and it can be fun if you call low VA rates and work with us. Thank you.